Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Curtis here, also known as the Unbox Fox. Firstly, I'd like to apologise for not making a video in over a month. I've been incredibly busy. I had to dog sit for my sister for a couple of weeks while she was on holiday. Then I've had a bad back and I've been led up. I've still got a bit of a bad back, but I'm feeling well enough to do a video, and I just haven't had the time to just sit down and do a video, so I apologise for that. Hopefully I can get some more out soon, but in today's video I want to talk about Jason X and the Friday the 13th remake, the 4K editions from Arrow. Now you're probably wondering, well, why isn't Jason Goes to Hell here? I'm not a big fan of, and this is very controversial, and I'm probably going to get slammed in the comments, I'm not a big fan of the Friday the 13th films. There, I said it. I don't think that they're that great. I think it's probably the weakest slasher franchise. That's my opinion. I tried watching them a while back and I just think they're really forgettable. Unfortunately, exception these two, and these two are my favourite. But yeah, I tried watching the original 9, yeah, because Jason X 10, yeah, the original 9, and I watched those a couple of years ago, and I watched them all the way through because I thought I've never really watched all of them through. I've only ever seen these two. I think I watched the very first one ages and ages ago when I was a lot younger, but I just think they're really forgettable, and I found them quite boring in my opinion. I think Halloween's much better. I think Nightmare on Elm Street's much better. Scream's much better. I don't know, I just think it's the poorest out of them all. But exception are these two, and they're probably on the opposite end of the spectrum of each other, because in my opinion I think this is a fantastic remake and I don't think it's talked about enough. And this, it's a stupid movie, but I have a lot of fun with this because it is just outrageously stupid and it's funny, and it has one of the most iconic, in my opinion, the most iconic deaths in cinema history, and that's the face getting frozen. And you think about this film, that's the first death you think about in this film. I'm going to go over each one, show you what's inside, and then just give you my overall opinion of both individually. So I will crack on with that and get straight into it. So here we go guys, this is the Friday the 13th remake on 4K. Now to start off with, I love the spot glossing on the mask, which follows on to the Jason X as well. I love the artwork on these, and I hope that we get a Freddy versus Jason sort of artwork and release from Arrow. I think that would be brilliant, and maybe have Jason one side and Freddy the other, and follow on with that spot glossing on Jason's mask. I think that would be great. But the artwork on this is incredible. I just think it's awesome. And then we go on to the spine, then round to the back, and we have our info. We have our limited edition contents there if you want to pause and read. We have the theatrical cut on disc 1 and the killer cut on disc 2. Then we take off the slipcover, and I have changed the artwork around. We do have that same artwork in there that's on the slip. Then we will get to the contents on the inside first. So first up we have a postcard greeting from Crystal Lake. Then we have the booklet, which I just think looks really cool. It follows on from that artwork we have on the front cover and the new commissioned artwork, which follows over onto this book. With just some stills from the movie and a bit of a write up, and then we have that there on the back. Then we have the poster, which is double-sided. So we have the original artwork, and then on the other side we have that new awesome commissioned artwork there. Then we have this postcard, which Arrow like to put in for each of their releases. I don't know what film this is advertising, but that's a cool little postcard. And then we have a get 30 days free from Watch Arrow, so if anybody wants to use that, you are welcome to, as I don't use them. And then we have our discs. So we have the theatrical cut with the same artwork from the front, and then we have the same artwork again on disc 2, which is for the killer cut. So that was it for the unboxing of the Friday the 13th remake. Now I will move on to Jason X. So here we have Jason X. Same again, we have that spot glossing on the mask on the left, which is really cool. Yet again, fantastic artwork, and I love how they followed it on. And like I said, it'd be really cool to see a Freddy vs Jason release from Arrow. I will keep saying that until it's done. But yeah, so there is the front. There we have the spine. Then we have the back of our limited edition contents that you can pause and read. So we take the slip off, and yet again I have changed the artwork to the original, and we do have the new commissioned artwork there. We'll get into the inside stuff. So we do not get a postcard this time, but we do get a nice booklet, which yet again follows the artwork of the centre there. Same again, in the centre we have some write up and some stills from the movie. Then we have the poster. So we have the original artwork and the newly commissioned artwork on the other side. And then for our postcard from Arrow, we have a Critters postcard. I don't know if this is a teaser for an upcoming 4K release of this. I know there was a Blu-ray release of the Critters collection, I think. I've never seen the Critters movies, but that's a cool little postcard there. And yet again, there is another Get 30 Days 3 that you can steal if you want. So that was both of the Friday the 13th films that I have picked up on 4K. So yeah, that was it. So let's get into talking about how my overall thoughts of both these films. So I'm going to start with Friday the 13th, the remake. So the reason why I like this film so much is it's really sort of it's a proper sort of
really good slasher film, and I love it. And like I said, I think this is probably the best Friday the 13th film ever made, in my opinion. Loads of people out there will probably argue, they'll probably say it's Jason Goes to Hell or the very original with Jason's mum, spoiler alert. But I love this. I think it's really, really good. And the other thing that I like about this is the fact that I believe in the other Friday the 13th films, you don't really know where Jason resides, where he goes to once he's killed people, where he sort of lives, whatever. Whereas in this, he has like an underground layer, and I thought that was quite a cool thing to add into this, and it just sort of adds to it and adds to his character. And I love that there's some really cool death scenes in this. And the other thing that I really like is in most slasher films, you get a group of teenagers, they go off to the wilderness, or they're in their houses and stuff, like Scream or the original Friday the 13th, and there's say like 5 or 6 of them, and you only see 5 or 6 deaths, and which is cool. But in this, you kind of get to see that twice. So there's a group of friends that go out into the forest for a camping trip. They all get killed by Jason, and then it goes into the story, and you see a new group get killed. So it's almost like 2 slasher films in one, and that's what I like about it. There's more of it, and more creativity with the deaths and stuff, and I really, really enjoy this film, and I think this set is just awesome, and I'm really happy with it. But like I said, I'm not a big fan of Friday the 13th, but when I very first watched this for the very first time, I think when it very first came out, I thought, oh, this is awesome, and it made me want to watch the other Friday the 13th films because I'd never seen them before, and I was highly disappointed. And maybe that's why, because this to me is so good. When I watched the other ones that were older, they were disappointing. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I need to revisit the other ones at some point, and maybe I'll have a newfound love for them. But from what I remember, I don't remember them, because they were very forgettable for me. But yes, I really, really do love this film, and it does look really good in 4K. And I'm surprised that this did get a 4K, and I think quite a few people are. And I'm glad that Arrow got the rights to release this, and I finally have it in my collection. So great set. Next up is Jason X. Like I said at the beginning, I like the Friday the 13th remake because to me it's a perfect slasher, and I just think it's really sort of gritty and awesome. Whereas this is the other end of the spectrum, and this is just ridiculousness, and not to be taken seriously, and I just have a lot of fun with this one because it just makes me chuckle, and Uber Jason is just awesome. But yeah, I have a lot of fun with this. It is ridiculous, and it's probably considered one of the worst ones, but because of its ridiculousness, I just have a lot of fun with it. I don't whack this on and expect some incredible slasher film. This is just a fun movie, and I think that's how it was intended. I don't think it was ever intended to be serious, but I just love it, and what a cool concept that a killer goes into outer space. And we've got like I said at the beginning again, one of the most, in my opinion, one of the most iconic death scenes in cinema history, with that freezing of the face and then smashing their head and goes everywhere. You can't think of this film without thinking of that scene. But yeah, this, however, I would say it's the best it has ever looked. But could it look better? Yes, in my opinion. It still has that old film grain, but when I put it on, I didn't really think I was watching a 4K, if that makes sense. But it is a vast improvement on the DVD I had, so I'm super happy. I never managed to get this on Blu-ray. I don't even know if I could find a copy on Blu-ray. I did keep an eye out for it, but I couldn't find it anywhere. And then obviously this got released and I had to pick it up because I do have a lot of fun with this. So that was my short and sweet sort of review of each of these movies. And I'm really happy to have these in my collection. I did, like as I said, I didn't get the Jason Goes to Hell because I'm not a fan of the others. One thing that I would absolutely love for Arrow to release, if they can, because they released these and Jason Goes to Hell, is Friday the 13th. And I think if you released Friday the 13th in this sort of art style and you have Freddy and Jason, that would look really cool. But yeah, I think we're all a bit desperate for that film on 4K, as we're getting the Nightmare on Elm Street at some point, which I have pre-ordered, and I'm so excited to get that collection in my hands, and hopefully the artwork is incredible, because we still haven't seen that yet. But to have Freddy vs Jason and my two favourite Jason films and the Nightmare on Elm Street all on 4K would be a dream come true. And then my favourite slasher collection would be almost complete. So that's enough of me rambling on about these films. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave me a like if you liked the video. Comment. You can give me abuse about me saying that these are the best out of the whole collection. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see some more from my channel, and I hope to see you on the next video. Bye for now.